Hello everyone. So a lot of people have requested to me to make a video on gvim, and objective of this tutorial would be to cover everything about gvim starting from the basics to the advanced. So in today's agenda I'm going to talk about what is the gvim, what are the modes in gvim, how do you open a file in gvim, how do you close or quit from gvim, how do you write to a file and save and quit, and last is insert mode. All of these topics will be covered today. It's a part 1 of my tutorial gvim. Right. So what is gvim? As you can read it here, it's clearly mentioned that gvim is nothing but it's a graphical vim editor. Vim editor is one of the very old editor, which is terminal based editor. Before Vim it was a VI which came earlier, and then some advanced features added to Vim terminal editor, and then on top of it graphical Vim was introduced, which is graphic friendly and users can play with it, and it provides you further more powerful features. So first thing first, we start with gvim. We say which gvim, and it gives you the installation path of gvim. You can check the version of gvim which you're using currently by hyphen version, and you can see it is telling you that it's a vi improved 8.0 of graphical version. uh, it doesn't really like minus version, so you can use minus h, and with minus h you can do pipe more. So you can see it gives you a lot of information about gvim and its options. Okay, so we quit from here. Right. The next one is you can use gvim tutor, tutor. Gvim tutor will open another gvim window, and this gvim tutor will show you some basic operations. How can you learn about gvim? Okay, so this is a kind of a small tutorial in within gvim you can try. Right. So the second topic is about modes of gvim. So when you open a file in gvim, by default the mode which is being used by default is called command mode. It's a default mode of gvim. You can switch from command mode to insert mode by pressing one of the keys is I. There can be further keys, and you can go back to command mode again from insert mode by pressing the escape button. Let me demo you this so that you can understand it better. So let's say I write gvim, and then after that I have to give any file. So I'm giving a new file name f1. Ampersand means run in the background the process. So this is my gvim. This is how it looks like. So it gives you a file name here, the path, and it says here gvim, and then there are some options, graphical options also you can explore, like file, you know, new, close, save, some edit options like fonts, paste, find, and some more. So you don't need to necessarily know each and every option of the GUI. There are a lot of options which you can do through the command or itself, so here you see, then you open this file f1 in gvim, you can see it's an empty window, right? and you can see F1, then the new file. So this mode is called command mode by default, okay? And you can see there's a vertical bar which is a black highlighted dark black block bar which tells you it's a command mode. So right now I don't want to go into more details on command mode, it will be covered later. But if I press I, as I explained in my readme, if I press I can switch to insert mode. So if I click I, if I press I small I, you can see at the very end it says insert now. So gvim. So now after I press I can now type something, some text like this. Okay. And if you press escape again, you can see that the insert mode is gone. So by the left arrow, right arrow, or up arrow, down arrow, you can go to any place in these lines. You can traverse. And if you don't want to save this, you press escape, which is already you have done, means you are in command mode, and then you press colon. So as soon as you press colon, which is shift colon key, it will go directly in the bottom, and there you write a Q to quit from this window. So Q means to quit this window, but don't save it. Okay. So if I quit it, you can see that it is being quitted. So now if I check the file F1, there is nothing saved. Even the file was not created, right? So if you run again, so I press I to go into insert mode, type something and hit escape and then colon, and this time I will say W and Q together, which means save and quit, and hit enter. Okay, now if I do get again, you can see that the text welcome has been now printed in the file F1. Okay, so this is very basic, but we'll talk more on this topic in coming slides. So right now, let me just tell you how do you open a file. So I told you one example of this gvim f1, but let's say if there are multiple file f1 and f2, and if you write this, okay. So if you look at it very carefully, this gvim, here you only see welcome, which was the f1 file, right? As you can see, f1. But here it also says 1 out of 2. So that means f1 is shown because you gave f1 as a first file as input of gvim, so it would be visible, but f2 is not visible. Even if it is a new file, it is not shown here, right? It's only f1. In order to switch to f2, I can run colon and small n and enter. So as you can see at the bottom it says f2 now. So this is the f2 file. Now you can see here on the top also it says f2. So if I want to go back to f1 again, I can do colon capital N. Capital N, if you want to go back, you can go with capital colon capital N. So now it is again F1. Okay. So if I quit it like this, Q, by the way, bang is a forceful quit. Okay. If Q doesn't work, you have to add a bang. And then if I hit enter, you can see that both F1 and F2 got closed because it was opened in same gvim, right? So if we run again, and if I switch to F2, which by colon N, right? Here I can write hello and let's say Q, W and Q. Save and quit together with a bang. So you can see both the files are closed now. But this time I am able to write something in F2 also. Hello. So this is how you can write. So this is one way of opening the file, multiple file by gvim. Now if you want to, I'll show you one more feature of this. So if I open this F1 and F2 again, so you know colon N and capital N, don't want to tell again, but I'll give you another feature. This time I will say colon, okay, all and hit enter. So as soon as I click on colon all, you can see that F1 and F2 both files are now visible in the same screen by a split screen. Means the top screen horizontal, there is a horizontal split here, and the top portion is F1 and below portion is F2, right? You can switch from one window to another by just clicking the mouse. So right now I'm on F1. I can write hi on F1, and similarly if I click here and I can say bye here on the F2, right? Both are okay. Now if I want to save them, I can do Q bang, enter. So by default, the window which I have selected, if I do Q bang on that window, it will close only that window, the splitted one. So F2 was closed. Again, you can do the same thing for F1. So that's how you can save and close both the file separately. Okay, one more feature. So this time I will write colon tab and then all. So now you can see that F1 and F2 both are opened in a tab. Okay, so you can say hi, for example, again here. Obviously, you can also save the file from this icon. File, save. Colon W is a command line, but from the GUI also you can save colon W. Or here it means save all files. Okay, so let's try this time this one. So this is F2 is saved and F1 is also there. And you can also close the window, gvim window by just pressing this cross button here. Or you can say file, exit, which is Q, colon Q is exit, right? So you can also do that this way. Okay, so this is about opening the multiple files. Now I will also show you one more example of gvim. How can you open multiple file by if for example if you want to open the file in different tabs in advance, you can use -p option and give F1 and F2 like that. Now you can see that you don't need to do colon, tab all. Directly it will, both the files will be opened in separate tabs by -p option. -p is handy. And now I'll show you again. You remember we did this colon all to make the horizontal split. That horizontal split can also be done by -o option. Okay, now you can see F1 and F2 both are separated by a split, a horizontal split. So now I am the top window, okay, F1. So here I can say colon, okay, colon Q bang, quit from the first file, the top file. Now this is the second file. I can again say colon Q bang, quit without saving. So both files are now closed. If you use capital O instead of small o, then both F1 and F2 will be shown in a vertical separator or split screen, vertically split screen. So again, the concept remains same. You can click here or here. So this time let me click on F2 window and I will say escape and then colon Q bang. So the second window is closed. Now you can see only F1 is remaining. Now this can also be closed by colon Q bang. Okay. So this is how you can close the windows and how you can open the windows in split horizontal and split vertical. Okay. So you know a few things already. So let's check readme. Right. So these things we have already done in point 3, and we have also covered how to close or quit from the gvim. Now I have also explained you how to write to a file by the insert mode and how can you save and quit. Now let me also briefly talk about what is the insert mode and how will you use it. So let's just start with one file, for example. So I will simply write gvim f1 ampersand. This is my gvim ampersand. I will write some random lines to practice. So I will say welcome to gvim tutorial. Hope you can learn something. Right. This is it. So what did I do? So let me just recap it. Okay. So I will quit it with save. So I opened this file, and by default this file was in the file was opened in command mode. I had to press I button or I key to make an insert mode, and now I am in the last line. I hit enter, and here I can again say another welcome. After I have done with my insert writing something, I will press escape button again, and the insert mode is gone, and now I can do colon. If I do only W, okay, then it will not quit, but it will save, right? So you can also save. So this is my file now with all these lines, okay. Now let me uh, let's talk about how can you start writing, right? Or maybe give me another, let me give you another example of new file f3, right? So from the beginning I will tell you how to write as insert mode. So I press I here and then I start typing something. This is line 1, enter. This is line 2, enter, end of lines, right? And now this is insert mode. I press escape. Insert mode is gone. This is the command mode. And now I write colon W bang to save it. So this file F3 has now saved 3 lines, right? This is a normal method. Now I will tell you, for example, what is small o. Okay, so if I am here and if I press a small o, okay, small o key, so by default small o key will make my insert mode enable and it will go to the next new line automatically so that you can type. So I will type here, let's say hello, and I press escape again to go back to command mode. So again I will repeat. So I am in command mode right now because you can see this is a dark black box here and there is no insert mode shown. That means it is a command mode, Now if let's say my cursor is here or anywhere, now I will again press a small O, and as soon as I press a small O key, I'm changing to insert mode and I'm able to go to the new line automatically. Here I can write something, and for example, and escape. So when I'm in insert mode, you can see it shows insert, and also there is no more dark vertical block, but a small thin line now. So when I press escape, it will change to command mode. You can see now it is a dark black block vertical bar, and so this is a command mode again. So now I'm in command mode. I will save this one by pressing colon and W, bang. It will be it. You can also see here that 5 lines are written, and these much of characters have been now written to this file F3. So this is how you can write. Now this was about small o. Okay. Now I will also, so you know about I, right? So let me give you another example of small I. So for example, if I want to write something where my cursor position is, for example, if I want to write something at this position where my cursor is present now on small f. Okay. So here I will type small I, and as soon as I type small I, you can see that the cursor position has gone just before small f. That means I will insert that cursor to right just before that character. Okay, so let's say here I write something. So I will say here, let's say, I don't know, maybe double O, something like that. So I can write something like that, like this. And if I hit escape again, I go back to my command mode. Okay, so this is how you can write. Now I will also give you another example. For example, if I want to type something after H. So you know what I'm saying. So if I type small I it will allow me to write something before H, just like here, right? F before F. If I want to write something after H, I have to I have to type small a, not I but small a. So look, as soon as I click on small a, I am again in the insert mode, and this time I am after H. So after H, I can now write a capital H and anything else, hello for example. So you can type something here and then press escape again, and this is how you can type or use the small I, small o, or small a. Okay, so these are the basic operations for insert mode. Right, now let's just save this one. How will you save? So I press escape colon and then W, bang. So this file is saved now. Okay, now I will also give you some more examples. So let's do this. For example, if my cursor is here, for example, is here, right? It at S position, right? If I type a capital A key, capital A means shift small a, right? Shift plus small a. So if I type shift plus small a, you can see that I go into the insert mode, but I also go at the end of the line. And then I press, if I want to add a space, I can add, and I can say something here, for example, I am here, right? So, so capital A or shift A, shift plus small a can can allow me to go to any end of the line with insert mode. For example, if I'm here and if I am doing shift A, which is capital A, by default I go to, after I as soon as I hit shift A, I switch from command mode to insert mode automatically and I go at the end of the line. And here I can write 1, 2, 3 for example, and hit escape again to go back to command mode. Okay, you have to be in command mode always because only you can save something in command mode, not in insert mode. So you have to go back to the command mode always. Okay, so let's save it, colon W. This is about shift A. Now I will give you another example of shift I. So if I am here and if I do shift I, so you can see that the shift I is allowing me to go to the insert mode but at the beginning of the line. Okay, so capital double T. So I can go here and go press escape again and save this entry also. So shift I will allow me to go to the start of the line and shift A will allow me to go to the end of the line in the insert mode. And let me just do this time I will do capital O. So for example, if I'm here and if I write shift plus small o, which is capital O, this time shift O will open a new line but on the top of the line where I do the shift O. So here I can type something, this is new line and escape colon W. So we have studied about different modes on insert mode, which is small I, small o, and then small a, and then shift A, which is capital A, shift I, which is capital I, shift O, which is capital O. All these operations are very handy for uh, writing to a file and switching from one line to another very easily. So this is my first video of gvim, but stay tuned. I'll be making I think couple of more videos on gvim and you are going to learn a lot more from these videos of gvim. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe, forward to your friends, make comments or ask questions. And yes, please keep learning on gvim because it's one of the very famous editor in day-to-day work. So yeah, this is it. Cheers. Thank you.